What is going on, YouTube? I am Jerem here. Today we have the breakdown of patch 10.4. We're going to be running through the patch notes of the new patch that Riot has just released. Quick PSA that they say at the top that the patch is not going to be coming out on Wednesday, February 19th like it normally would. It is actually going to be coming out on February 20th, which is Thursday in the United States. Monday was President's Day, even though it's kind of a bullshit holiday. Apparently Riot had the day off, so the patch is actually going to be delayed by one day, but the patch notes still came out on the regular Tuesday, so that's cool. We have something to look through. This is actually a pretty big patch compared to some of the other ones in season so far, but you're going to have 10.3 for an extra day, so just be looking out for that. Here is the little thing at the beginning. If you guys are just interested in who gets buffed, who gets nerfed, here's all that information after we're going to be running through this. The last few videos I've done for the patch notes, they've done pretty well. The views haven't been crazy, but they've been getting a ton of likes and a ton of really good feedback. You guys really seem to be enjoying them, so as long as you guys keep enjoying these patch notes, I'll keep running through them. Things is great for me because I actually get to make sure I read all the patch notes and learn everything about what's new in the game, and I think it's really important for you guys to be running through the patch notes each patch as well. So you can know what's changing, what's good, what's bad, and hopefully it'll give you an edge up on the competition and people who don't read the patch notes. So here we go, getting into this. These are usually a little bit longer videos, so we will get right into it. First up is Amumu getting a Q dash speed increase and an R cooldown decrease, and his R now stops dashes. Pretty good change for Amumu. Obviously, it's going to be really, really strong. The dash speed, just being able to get onto people faster, you know, ult them faster, get going. Ult cooldown reduction, that's going to be so good for Amumu. You know, if you're picking Amumu, it's pretty much for the ult. You have huge AoE teamfight damage, CC, and being able to stop dashes. There's a million dashes in this game. It can really kind of be annoying, so that's going to be great as well. I don't think it makes Amumu like meta all of a sudden or anything, but it'll make him a little bit better, give you another option, especially for newer players, because this patch is centered a lot around the jungle for newer players, so I think that'll be a great addition for like lower elo people and people interested in Amumu. Aphelios finally getting more nerfs. Seems like he gets nerfs on every single patch, but it is definitely deserved because he was overpowered. The biggest change is that players can now see both guns Aphelios is holding next to his health bar. How is that not a thing on release? Absolutely stupid that it wasn't like that on release, but now we have it. That's great. You can actually know what both guns that Aphelios has. That's information that everyone in the game needed. Calibrum lost its basic attack reset. That'll be a solid damage nerf overall. And then his turret Crescendum is getting nerfed a solid amount. It's getting easier to kill. It has lower base auto attack, so the turret's going to be autoing a little bit less. And it's going to die a little bit easier to range basic attacks and AoE attacks. And they did a bug fix for it. Also, the range of his R is going to be reduced. That's good, because the range is absolutely disgusting for how much damage and how much utility it can do. So it getting lowered 300 units, I think, is definitely good. Bunch of small nerfs to Aphelios, but he's been getting a bunch of small nerfs a couple patches in a row, and it all starts to add up, and he is kind of getting more and more in line. But I think after all this stuff, he's still going to be pretty overpowered, but it'll feel a little bit better to play against with that clarity update. Aurelion Sol, W active star damage decrease. Not a ton of people play Aurelion Sol, but the people who do, his win rate's disgusting. He's really, really strong, but he's just so different. He's such a niche champion. But that's a nice nerf. So those are for Aurelion Sol one tricks. Hopefully their win rate goes down a little bit. Caitlyn getting bonus attack speed at level 1. I think that's good. There's a ton of AD carries that need buffs right now. Caitlyn isn't in a terrible spot, but you know, she's just not as good as stuff like Aphelios, Sona, some of the new AD carries, Xayah, stuff like that even. So buffs to her are welcome, even though it's not the most fun when Caitlyn is the best AD carry in the game, but just a little bonus attack speed at level 1 shouldn't be too crazy. Garen is getting an increased Q empowered basic attack damage ratio increase, increased W resistances after max from enemy kills, and W shield increase. Garen, since he was broken on his new release, he kind of got nerfed and gutted, and then he just kind of became this guy who had to build attack speed, and it just felt so different from the old Garen. They want to bring back build diversity for him, kind of turn him more back into that bruiser rather than just that full attack speed Beyblade. I think these are good changes. You'll see a slight win rate increase for sure, but he's not going to be that overpowered Garen on release. Gnar getting a base movement speed increase, passive mini Gnar movement speed decrease, and his R damage ratios are increased. He's getting an attack damage and AP ratio increase on his Gnar ults, so that'll be a really nice buff for Gnar himself, but also a huge buff for Sylas, and this is what a lot of people are talking about. That AP ratio getting doubled, that's going to be crazy for Sylas damage. You're getting an AoE stun, that's going to nuke people as well. That'll be disgusting. The movement speed changes for Gnar a little bit weird. His mini Gnar is getting slower, but big Gnar is getting faster. shouldn't do too much to him. Jace is getting his base mana and mana growth increased, and his Q base damage increased. Jace has been in a really bad spot in solo Q and pro for a while. Some buffs for sure will be nice. The base damage to his Qs, that's actually pretty significant, getting like 10 to 15 damage depending on the level, because his Q's low cooldown, he's spamming it a lot, doing a lot of damage. But obviously the mana and mana growth won't be too crazy, but he'll be able to stay in lane a little bit longer at the beginning. Lux, Q damage increase, cooldown decrease early, and Lux can now flash while casting R. That R change actually pretty crazy, kind of allowing you to redirect your ultimate and stuff, make it a little bit easier to land, because right now it is pretty easy to dodge. And the Q damage, that's a really big buff, even though it's losing some AP, but since the cooldown's going down, it's, you know, you're going to be using it more often, landing it more often, and doing more damage with it. Rammus getting a base attack speed and attack speed ratio increase. I mean, it'll help his jungle clear, but I think that's kind of weird. Not going to affect Rammus too much. Singed base health and armor decreased. He has been kind of annoying in top lane. I don't think he's been that relevant in solo queue or professional play, but I guess they're trying to keep him out because he's really not a fun champion to play against or watch in competitive or anything. So he'll be a little bit weaker, but I don't really think he was a big problem before, so it's kind of a weird nerf in my opinion. Sona, they're trying to make her less of a top laner, so her auras now grant Sona mana at first allied tag, and they're increasing the cost of all of her spells, so she's getting rewarded for being around an AD carry. They want her to be a support, obviously. And all of her mana costs are getting increased. That's going to make her a little worse overall. It's going to be making her worse for support. But since the mana costs are going up, you're going to get mana back if it hits an ally. So I guess it does make sense that they're just straight nerfing Sona top. And then Soraka top is getting some big nerfs as well. Base stats are adjusted. Q self-heal and rejuvenation, heal duration, and bonus movement speed have been decreased. So she's less of a lane bully. She can't just, you know, heal her health back forever and sprint at you and land a bunch of damage. Her Q cost getting increased, W health cost decrease when rejuvenated, and heal increase later. So they're putting more power under your W, taking power out of her Q. That'll hopefully make her more of a support. I think these changes make a lot of sense. They'll make her less of a lane bully, but I don't know. People might still be able to pull off some Soraka top. I guess we'll have to see. But these base stat nerfs are honestly going to be pretty crazy too. So Soraka top and Sona top are probably dead. Q, Silas, damage increase later. Dude, that's crazy. I think Silas is super strong right now. I think he's been so annoying. Silas has been doing well after a large change in 10.1. We're less worried about him taking over pro games, so we can give him some more power. Dude, I don't know. In my games, at least, he feels really disgusting, and like his healing and damage are crazy. I'm kind of upset that they're buffing him, but yeah, they're buffing his Q damage later on in the game. That I'm not happy about. Udyr, time between stance changes decreased per Cloud Drake buff. That's interesting because, yeah, he wasn't getting anything from the ultimate cooldown reduction, so they're, you know, making him benefit off the Cloud Drake. Something happened similar to Shyvana a couple patches ago, so it's weird that they forgot about Udyr. This might be the biggest part of the patch, other than the nerfing Aphelios. The Aphelios changes are huge. Sona and Soraka top changes are huge, but these changes are pretty big as well. The new jungle champions, Darius, Diana, Garen, Gnar, Mordekaiser, Talon, and Zed are trying to become junglers, right? It's trying to make them junglers, so here's how. Darius, his passive now deals 120% damage to all monsters, and his Q now heals from large monsters. Diana, her passive damage is increased by 150% on non-epic monsters. Garen's E now deals 150% to non-epic monsters. Gnar's W now deals bonus maximum damage to monsters. Mordekaiser's passive does extra damage to monsters. Talon's passive does extra damage to monsters. And Zed is getting some damage increases on monsters as well, which these are just pretty crazy changes. Pretty insane. It's hard to tell just off reading numbers like this who's going to be a good jungler, who's not. Riot is obviously trying to make them all legitimate junglers with legitimate competitive clear speeds, and then just allowing their kits to kind of thrive in the jungle as well. I think some of the more interesting ones are Diana. Could be really crazy if her numbers are right. She has all the tools that a jungler would want. Talon, going to be jumping over walls, going to be so annoying as an early game jungler. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. They want to make more champions in the jungle pool. They want to make more people play jungle. They want to make more people try it out. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. Definitely going to be trying them all out. I'll probably make a video about most of them, but just reading the numbers and stuff, I don't know who's going to have a good clear and who's not. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'll definitely keep you guys up to date on that. Runes and exhaust, small buffs to exhaust. It now shows how much damage is being reduced, and the duration is up to 3 seconds. I think it's pretty interesting. Not a huge change, but something good. Hail of Blades. it's getting a little bit of a buff. Maximum time between attacks and its cooldown is going up instead of being 4 seconds out of combat. Legend, what is that? Oh, all of them. Legend, Alacrity, Tenacity, and Bloodline. Minion kills per stack going up to 25. Perfect timing is getting a big nerf. This is actually pretty crazy. It costs more. Stopwatch just straight costs more gold. You can't push underground. No longer additionally reduces the cost of GA, Stoneplate, and Zanya's. That's pretty crazy. That's honestly a very, very large nerf. And it becomes a stopwatch at 14 minutes, but takedowns do reduce the timer by 2. So if you want to get that stopwatch faster, you are going to have to get takedowns. But man, 14 minutes is a huge change. They just want people taking less stopwatch. They don't want everyone in the game to have a stopwatch. And I don't know. People are still going to take it because it's so good. But man, these are some big nerfs. Phase Rush, attempting to broaden this rune, since right now it's only being taken by ranged mages with extremely low cooldowns. So maximum time between attacks up to 4 seconds, and the movement speed is increased for melee champions. I think it's a good change. I don't think just like Cassiopeia and Rise should be running that rune and being super annoying with it. And Omnis Stone will no longer give the player Pressy Attack or Conqueror at level 1, because yeah, who's really able to proc those at level 1 anyway. And Unflinching now properly grants 10% slow resistance per summoner spell on cooldown. Immolate items, getting some more satisfaction and activity out of Sunfire's pattern. Bombing Cinder, Cinderhulk, and Sunfire Cape now, once every 10 seconds, your next immobilizing ability deals 6 to 23 plus 0.02 bonus health and releases a Fire Nova that also deals that bonus damage around you. So tanks have been really bad for a while. When they talked about the Amumu buffs, they talked about how they're buffing Cinderhulk and stuff and making it deal more damage. Making it, honestly, it'll be more fun to use. And it'll stop people from just like trying to build damage on tanks and stuff, but it is going to just increase tank damage. Like, man, I'm just envisioning Ornn with this being disgusting. But yeah, instead of trying to make them tankier and stuff, they're actually making them deal more damage, which is really weird. But this change should be interesting. I mean, it'll be a really good buff for a lot of tanks, because tanks have been in a bad spot for a while. And then nothing too crazy there, just the fact that Clash is coming out on this patch. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely leave a like if you enjoyed this video. This is my patch 10.4 notes, rundown, breakdown, just my thoughts and opinions on everything that's going to be changing in the game. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about these changes? What's your favorite change, least favorite change, whatever? What are you going to be trying out in ranked? Definitely subscribe so you have to update on all my latest content. We got more strategies, guides, breakdowns, videos like this coming your way in the near future. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next video, but until then, peace.